Power grid security. Introduction. On December 23, 1915, part of Ukraine's power grid was taken over by Russian hackers. Around 250,000 people were left without power just 2 days before Christmas. To gain foothold into the power control center, hackers sent emails with attached Microsoft Office documents containing malware. When opened by employees, hackers took over login passwords. Once the hackers were in the system, they took full control of the power grid control center, controlling over 60 substations and opening more than 250 switches. Can you imagine the personal and economic impact of a blackout on your city, state, or on the entire grid? Objectives. In this training session, we're going to talk about two objectives. One, the physical substation. Two, the control house that is inside the substation. So for the first objective, we're going to talk about substation physical security, substation entry, substation irregularities. And for the second objective, we're going to talk about control house security, control house entry, local relay login, remote relay login, and control house and relay irregularities. The physical location of a substation is usually far away from the control center, and many times it can be far away from cities, it can be middle of rural areas, and usually people buy property that is inexpensive to put substations, and they want it to be far away from where people live because for security reasons. This makes a substation, it puts a substation in a big risk for somebody to break in and start turning on and off switches. So in order to protect a physical substation, we need a 20-foot metal gate. We need a Southern Company lock with a special lock that only certain people can get the key to it, and a 24/7 security camera. To enter into a substation, number one, check for substation irregularities. Make sure everything looks okay. And later on we'll talk what happens if you don't find everything okay or you find irregularities. Number two, call the control center and provide them your name, company, and the purpose of your visit. They want to know why you're walking in, why you want to go in, what do you need to do in the substation. Once you get permission to go in, unlock the gate and then close the gate from the inside. Make sure that nobody comes in with you who is not allowed to come in, and you close the gate to make sure that nobody will be able to come in once you're doing your work in the substation. Substation irregularities. If you see a car parked near a substation, and no car should be parked there because it's private property that belongs to the substation, you should call the control center, provide them the information, and see what they tell you to do. Many times it's just a person may be parking and they're going around and they do not know it's a private property, but you want to make sure that it's not a suspicious car. Let's say if you walk in and you see the fence is broken or unauthorized personnel in the substation, you should leave immediately the site because it may be a person who will try to kidnap you or take information, very sensitive information that has to do with the substation. So the first thing is leave immediately the site. B, call 911 and tell them what you see. And C, call the control center and tell them this information, give them this information. If you see a fire or another hazard at the substation, you should leave immediately the site because something may explode and hurt you and other people. Then call 911 and call the control center. Relay and substation control house. So a relay protects transmission lines, generators, and transformers. They give protection if there's too much current in the transmission line of the generator or the transformer. They will shut down this equipment, and this way they'll make sure it doesn't burn down. And also it open and closes switches and breakers. A control house is a house, usually a concrete house. It's located inside the substation, and this contains all the relays are inside the control house, batteries, power metering, and many other equipment that controls the substation. Control house. The control house is the heart of the substation. The security on the control house will be a physical lock and an electronic lock, where you need a physical lock and a badge in order to get in. And both of them will be provided only to authorized employees. In addition to the security cameras in the substation, there was going to be another 24/7 security cameras in the control house. So if somebody bypasses one security system, they will not be able to pass the other one. There'll be 3 individual relays for each breaker or switch that is controlled by relays. 2 relays will be operational, meaning they have the ability to open and close the breakers. And the reason for it is if one relay fails, the other relay will be able to pick up and protect the system. And the third one, it's just for recording, and it just gives numbers and the voltages and the currents like the other 2, but they have no ability to operate. The reason you want to have 3 is so the control center can have the ability to look at all 3 at the same time. And if somebody is able to hack to one of them, they will know which one was hacked based on the numbers, because 2 numbers will be equal and one will be unequal. So they'll know that one was hacked. And if they see irregularity numbers, they'll know it's broken or hacked, and then they can unplug it and take it out of the system. And then each relay will have an independent firewall, so it will be protected differently. Now, if you control house entry, number 1, check for irregularities. Number 2, call the control center and provide your name, company, and purpose. The purpose of why you need to go into the control center. Many times, employees need to just be out of the control center in the substation doing work. But if they need to go into the control center and start playing with relays, they need to have an additional permission. Number 3, unlock and open the door with the key and your personal badge. You'll have 50 seconds once you put the personal badge to get in, and if not, it will lock itself automatically. Number 2, close the door from the inside to make sure that nobody has the ability to walk in. There's 2 ways to log into the relay. There's a local relay login. It's in the control house in the substation next to the relays, and there's a remote login in the control center, and this is at the building of the power company. In order to log in locally, if you're in the substation in the control house and you want to log in, the first thing you want to do is use a relay sign laptop. There are special laptops just for connecting into a relay. Then there will be 2 passwords logging in. And then if you see everything's okay and the computer seems functional, then you can connect the laptop to the relay. You don't want to connect the laptop to the relay, find out that there's a virus in the computer, or the computer is not okay, and then it may affect the relay. Do not use the laptop for any other purposes other than putting it in the connecting to the relay. You don't want to use it for personal stuff, for work stuff, only for relay things. Remote login, and number 1, close all computer windows. Number 2, open relay login software, special software for logging in remotely into the relay. Number 3, there'll be 2 login passwords. Relay and control house irregularities. Control house irregularities. Door is broken in. What should you do? You should leave immediately. There may be a person waiting for you with a gun and he's trying to get login information. So you want to leave immediately. Call 911 and tell them what you saw, and then call the control center and give them the information so they can know how to react to it. Relay irregularities. A relay is showing different values. So the 3 relays that protects breakers. If one out of the 3 shows different values, it's maybe not working well or it was hacked into. So the first thing you should do is reset the relay, and if it does not work, then call the control center and give them the information. Your local laptop is infected. Your logged in into a relay and you still seeing and you still believing that the laptop may be infected. So the first thing you should do is disconnect the laptop from the relay because you don't want to infect the relay or other relays, and then call the IT and control center and tell them that your computer is infected. Your local laptop or control center was taken over by hackers. You just see that the hackers, you cannot do anything with your computer and hackers are taking control. What should you do? Call the IT department and the main control center, and tell them immediately what's happening. And B, contact your manager immediately. Summary. In this training session, we talked about physical substation security, entry, and irregularities. And then we talked about the heart of the substation, the control house, security, entry, and irregularities. Then we talked about the relay security, local and remote login, and irregularities. Remember, the flow of the power grid is bestowed on your actions.